Hello everyone and welcome back to Agrarian Skies. First things first, there's not going to be a nether expedition this time around. I'm still working on preparing for it. Part of that is actually making more swords, so I made 3 more of these Elamite swords. And this first one is now at master level, I guess. Actually I think I made 4, yeah, I think I made 4 additional ones. So that's the one I made initially to get the looting effect. As you can see, it has looting 3 on it at the very bottom. And then this one's already at master level, but I haven't put any manual stuff onto it. It's kind of okay. I like the lifesteal and I like the sharpness. It unfortunately got Bane of Arthropods during one of the level ups, which is a little bit annoying, but I can deal. The next one is only at accustomed level right now. I think that's the 2nd level or so. And it has a knockback and a fire effect, so I now set things on fire with this. And because I'm leveling up the swords, I still have this set up to the experience mode thing. Unfortunately, that means that sometimes when a mob dies on the front blocks here, its drops will go sort of flying a little. And the vacuum hopper will suck them in, but he'll try to suck them out and then go around this way, so it'll be stuck here and not actually get sucked in. It's a little annoying, but I don't, well, yeah, that was not necessary. There's not really a way around that. I think I'll just have to deal with it. Now, you might also notice I'm keeping some of these enchanted things without fixing them. They have interesting enchantments on them, such as this last stand and the unstable thing. I don't quite know what they do. I think they're added by Thormcraft. And I should really get my quest book back. There it is. It's not too bad. I can craft it from just a piece of string. So it wouldn't be bad if I lost it, but, well, I don't have to if I can avoid it, of course. And eventually there will be machines that allow me to pull off enchantments from these things, and I'll just see if I can maybe get some of the interesting ones off to see what they do. Okay, I got started on something that I'll show you in just a second. I've also assembled most of the materials I require for making that big reactor thing. The only thing now missing is, I think, 181 diamonds, but the auto-sieving setup only got 111 so far, so got a little ways to go yet. And because that takes so much waiting, I got bored and I started building something. And the only reason I built it is because big things are impressive. So this is a huge ring, huge circle, I think a radius of almost 100 blocks. And in the center as well, put the big reactor, the first one. And I think in total I might end up building 7 of them. And that should be sufficient to power me forever. Because the design I'm using produces about 11,000 RF per tick. And yes, 11,000 RF. So that's well over 100 times more than the ender generator. Okay, so this one now got +1 to beheading. I think this increases the chance I get mob heads from kills. And I'll just keep going back and forth and sometimes killing all the mobs there until I have all these swords leveled up to maximum, and then I'll close the trap off again and set it back to the standard thing as it was before. Now, lots and lots of things in here. I'll start with the first row because it's quite easy and you can technically already see it in the NEI. And that is making the flux capacitor. I think I want this. And then sulfur at the bottom to make the leadstone one. Making the hardened one should be this. Putting 2 electrum at the sides and a diamond at the bottom is a redstone flux capacitor, and to make the resonant one, I make this. Okay. Now, I'm not certain if this quest, where is it? Click here to start, learning to skyblock. This quest here, Feel My Power. I don't know if that requires a recharged one, so let's try. It doesn't. Okay. So we automatically get a potion, an endothermic pump, redstone energy cell, and a quarter of a heart. And all of these generators I can build, so I'll go for the reward bag, because that might contain something a lot better. Or it might not, of course. I mean, it's completely luck-based. Also, just for the sake of completion and it no longer being there in the quest log, I will now make a bookbinder. Ta-da! So I get a quarter of a heart for that. Completely terrible reward, but there you go. The way the bookbinder works, I guess I might as well show you that. I think any books will work, so I can put in... oh, it's an epic reward bag. So I just take books, put them in, and they only take up one slot this way. Let's check the potion. Oh, another flight potion. Brilliant. In order to build that ring, just to be safe, I wouldn't have needed to, but I did take a swig of the flight potion. I did fall off once, but that was actually sort of intentional in order to actually grab a block I misplaced. And these are large white stone bricks. I'll show you how to make those in just a second. It's quite simple, really. I need sugar for them. So I have sugar right here. You get sugar from sugarcane, of course. And if you put it in a pulverizer, instead of getting 1 sugar from a normal crafting, in a pulverizer you get 2 sugar. So I double the yield, basically. Got some glass here that I need for things, because reasons. Should put these in the bookbinder as well. Can I shift click them in? I can. Brilliant. Okay, so I still have 15 uses of flight left with that new potion. So I'm not too worried about using them up from time to time for stuff that I want. This energy cell is kind of pointless because I'll have to make it resonant before I'll use it. I'm OCD like that. If I have a better version, I don't want to use the weak version anymore. Okay, the endothermic pump. That's the only use for that on this map, I think, would be pumping lava from the nether. And as I said, I'm not quite ready to go there yet. And I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you, and I don't want you. And now you might say, oh, hang on a second, you're wasting all the leather stuff. That might have interesting enchantments on it as well. You are completely correct, it might, but it's no, I don't care, quite honestly. It's fine if I lose it. I will get interesting enchantments on the other stuff as well, and this has actually got other uses as well. Now, we got a reward back. Oh, darn, I picked up the shovel. Fine. And I still didn't get around to clearing any of this up. So, get used to the mess, I guess. Let's try the reward bag. Ooh, I need a new chest. Now, this is stuff for, I think, Thorncraft? Yes. So these won't be much use right now, and oh, I actually got more than I could carry. I'll put them in here for now, at the very bottom of the chest, because I have space here. I don't know exactly how these work. I've not played around with Thorncraft too much, so it's one of the reasons I'm sort of keeping that for later. I want to make sure I'm able to explain it well as I'm doing it. Now, I have some other stuff prepared. Actually, no, this is easy enough. And I will need some fluid transportation and storage quite soon, so I made some of these tanks. They're very easy. 4 obsidian and 5 glass panes in this pattern, and you get 2 of them, so I made 32. These will be used later. Now, I did get a bunch of steel. And it's actually more than I actually got more than I needed for the reactor. So I'll do this. And this time I think it's correct. Leggings, helmet, boots, and chestplate. And that should be just what I need for steel-powered flight. And I actually have 2 quests. Oh, nice. So I have the steel armor now, giving me a reward pack and a heart. And 3 Mile Island. This requires me to make a graphite bar and a yellorium dust. And the way you make graphite is by just smelting coal. So you take coal, and charcoal works as well, and you just smelt it. So take coal, smelt it, and that will make graphite. And the way you get yellorium is you just take the yellorium dust we get from sieving, and you smelt that. So quite easy. Let me go and kill the spawning stuff here again. Too much of that, and it'll obviously take up spawning stuff, spawning locations, whatever. And basically, if I've got too many standing down here, the mob cap will eventually be reached and it'll spawn slower. And if I leave them for too long, they might despawn. So don't want that to happen. I should be close enough so they don't despawn, but yeah, doesn't hurt to kill them anyway. And I think as a reward, I will take this nether uranium ore, because I believe that will give me the most in the end. And in the long run, we'll get tons of these things anyway. Let me just see what I can do with it. I can pulverize it into 4 yellorium dust, and that's all I can do. Okay, so pulverize. Yeah, out of the other rewards, I could have chosen just getting the yellorium instantly, which this one actually gives a chance of having netherrack as well. So no, it has a chance of giving netherrack that way. Meaning that was the superior choice. We will get this with relative ease, and for my purposes, 16 plutonium is exactly the same as 16 yellorium. It's sort of an alternate fuel for the reactor, but it works the same way. It doesn't burn longer. It doesn't give more energy. It's exactly the same, except it's produced in a different way. We'll get to that eventually. And this stuff here, I hate that stuff. It's, I think, mariculture. We'll get to that eventually. Now the next thing is actually to make a bunch of reactor pieces, which I could do right now, but I'm not too fussed. I could also make a jetpack, I guess. That would be nice. Yeah, I'll prepare the jetpack for next episode. This stuff here will take a while because I need to get my reactor going for that. Did I get anything here? No, and I won't for a while. Okay. Reward bags, a basic one and a good one. They shouldn't be too exciting. Oh, orange sapling, that sucks. And purple stained clay, that also sucks. I'm so out of space, it's terrible. You go here, you go here, fine, you go over there. So much stuff. The yellow heart canister is actually useful. No, don't go away. Because I can put it in this slot here. This is for yellow heart canisters, this is for red ones, and this is for green ones, and eventually I will make 10 of each. And this essentially raises my maximum health by 1 heart. So as you can see, there's that first heart here, which has just gone orange. That means I now technically have 11 health. And I can push the limit up to 40 by having 10 of each of the canisters in each of these slots. So there is that. Now, I have one more thing I want to do that's quite simple. So I made another tool station. I took 4 of the blocks of steel that I had left over, and 3 seared bricks on top gives me a tool forge. And this essentially replaces the tool station. So you go away, and you go here. I should maybe mention I also made a new hatchet. This is also from Alamite. As I said, currently the best material I really have access to. And it actually only has 1 less attack damage than my Alamite swords, which is kind of funny. Now, of course, I don't do much axe work these days, so it's still at a very low experience level. You guys can all die, and I get +1 attack on this one as well. I'm really quite liking it so far. I think 1 more level. Let's see what we get on that. I hate getting the Bane of Arthropods that I got on these two swords. It seems like such a pointless thing to have. Now the tool forge, I should probably put them both down so you can see the difference. Again, I'm slightly all over the place, but I think I've got this fairly well done. The tool forge, as you can see, it has 20 options here at the side. The tool station only has 14. This one here basically has some additional recipes that you can make. So for example, I believe the hammer is not buildable in the tool station. This only has pretty much the standard tools. Arrows, short bows, chisels, battle signs, frying pans. A dagger, rapier, longsword, broadsword, a mattock, which is basically an axe, a shovel, and a... what is it? It's an axe and a shovel in one, and I think it also you can use it as a hoe. I don't know. And a normal hatchet, normal shovel, normal pickaxe, and I can use it as an anvil. And this one has some additional stuff. For example, I can make a scythe, and I can make an excavator, and a lumber axe, a hammer, a cleaver. The battle axe is new, I think. Yeah, that's the new recipes, I believe. And all of these are kind of special. For example, the hammer breaks 3x3 blocks of effect, and it has a smite effect, so it does more damage to undead, I believe. The lumber axe is very nice because it makes it so that if you hit the bottom bit of a tree, so the lowermost wood block, the entire tree comes down. Very nice for jungle trees in particular. The excavator is just like the hammer except for dirt related items, so again it digs in an area. The scythe is I think it's an area of effect hoe, essentially, and it appears to also be reasonably good for AoE damage against multiple enemies at once. And the cleaver is a sword that naturally has beheading attached to it. And this thing here is kind of similar to the big lumber axe, but it does more damage. But it only does about 9 tall trees in one go, otherwise you have to start hacking again. So all of these are made from different individual pieces, as you can see, just like we made the pickaxes and the swords. And we make all of these pieces by making the relevant pattern, and then making a stone version of that pattern, and then making the casting ingot, not the ingot, you know, the shape, casting thing. Forgot the word. Anyway, and then we pour the liquid metal or liquid material, whatever we like, into it, and then we get the stuff. Unless we want the component to be made out of, say, wood or flint or whatever, then of course we just make them in the part builder. Yes, I also want to show you this before we end. And this is my first step into applied energistics. And the way I'm using that mod, it's a huge automation mess, storage, crafting. It's basically automation gone crazy. And on this map, I would say you can't really go without it. I mean, you probably could, but any other method I can think of is far inferior to building a decent ME system. And you guys can die. So I will also be doing this, of course. It's, however, quite lengthy. So what I'm going to make is a 4K storage cell, ME 4K storage. This is far from the largest. The largest that the one that I'm going to mass produce eventually is 64K storages, but that requires diamonds and a lot of them, and I currently am saving my diamonds. So the largest I can make without diamonds is the 4K storage. And it looks pretty straightforward for the most part. Iron, redstone, glass, nothing weird about it. But we also need these storage segments. And to make them, we need redstone, glass, all easy, basic processors, and storage cells. And to make the storage cell, we need 3 of them. We need redstone and Certus quartz. We get those from sieving, so that's fine. And a basic processor, which we get from smelting and assembly, which we get by using a quartz cutting knife on gold, redstone, and silicon. And silicon we could use this recipe, but it's terrible. what we do is we smelt either Certus quartz dust or nether quartz dust, and obviously I used this method because I have tons of the Certus quartz dust. Anyway, I made enough to make 16 of these, but they don't stack, which I forgot. So I have to put them in here. And these will essentially be what my items go into. Now, in order to actually take advantage of that, I will need to build at least a simple ME system, which I don't know if I really should do that yet, because it requires energy, and I mean, I have energy, but not the largest supply in the world. I guess I could use this this resonant energy cell and just pump it full with a few ender generators, and then that should at least last me long enough. But I also require a lot of materials that I just don't really have. What I'll definitely do next is I will go to, I think Learning to Skyblock has a quest on that, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It's for the hoarding. Here, the next quest is digital storage. So I need to have an ME drive and a controller, crafting terminal, and some import and export buses. And I will prepare this for next time as well. And for next time I will prepare the jetpack. And then you will see me making those. I'm not much of a builder, so lots of my building is very boring, which is why you don't usually see me making the stuff. I only show you kind of the final step, and then maybe handing in the quests, opening the reward bags, all that stuff. Because I find that to be interesting, and the rest I find to be rather boring. And in the about 20 minutes I've been talking and not really doing much right now, we got from 111 to 112 diamonds, so it's quite slow. I noticed last time that there was some sort of weird glitch with these chests where somehow these things, the item ducts, weren't importing anymore, and I don't know why. It worked all fine and suddenly they stopped. It might have to do with the fact that some of these barrels were filled up. But technically they all have void upgrades, so even if this barrel is full, he should still be able to put flint into it, for example. And even if that weren't the case, then he still has this chest which can take overflow, which currently has junk in it because I also received some soul sand and dirt, so that's why that's stuff in there. And I have no idea why they stopped working. It might have to do with a chunk loading and unloading thing, so I had to basically reset each of these. Oh, and also one thing, I guess. My sheep are gone. I have no idea what happened. You remember I had 4 sheep in here? They're gone. I don't know why. I mean, I did unload the area and reload it by when I built that huge thing back there, but I thought farm animals wouldn't despawn. I mean, the cows are left, and I got some chicken as well. I have no idea why that has happened. You guys can die. Oh, and that's getting to a point of being finished. I have also made a bunch of stuff. So I now have, what, almost 6 stacks of iron blocks, almost 6 stacks of tin blocks, almost 6 stacks of copper blocks. I'm not low on metals and resources anymore. So I think for next time I might prepare the ME system. I think I need to smelt a bunch of sand for that, but it's not an issue. And I'll definitely have it so that I can finish the relevant quests. So this one and this one. And then I think we might actually be at a point where I have the energy and probably then the diamonds as well to build my ME system. But there's one other thing I want to do as well, which requires all the other stuff I have in that chest. So all of these 5 things are also machines that I eventually want to make, but not quite yet. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye!